Okie dokie, hokey pokey, smoky tokey. So, smoky tokey, we'll get into that. But yeah, what's the purpose of this short? Is that okay? I want to give just a background sort of introduction about what I've been through and what I'm still going through, and then I want to talk a little bit about sustainability of a practice. So, about 1 year ago, I started, I had in Chinese, this is called Ru Mo, something, something. What is the English translate? I forgot the Chinese word. It starts with Ru Mo. Maybe Mandarin speakers know, but anyway, it means like the fire enters the demonic realm, which is meaning your life force, energy, your chi, it gets messed up, it gets disordered, and causes psychological and physical problems, and psychosomatic problems. Your energy just starts going all. Your emotional baseline just gets totally messed up, and can cause a variety of physiological and psychological problems as a result of improper qigong and meditation. Generally, qigong, like energy work. So what I was doing for a number of years before it happened is I was smoking weed and drinking coffee and a little bit alcohol. But the problem was the weed. Okay, it's probably going to be longer than a short, I think. But the weed, of course, the cannabinoids, when you smoke weed, it does kind of enhance your mind-body connection. So when you do energy work like Qigong or Kundalini Yoga, some substances, for example, the cannabis, it can intensify the practice, and that's what happened. But I was doing it over a few years, and of course the energy got very intense. I was almost able to contract my dantian, lower abdomen, to produce sparks, electric discharge at my fingertips. So the energy was quite strong, and I thought I was doing it. I thought I was, developing something cool, or enhancing myself, when actually my energy system was just psychophysical energy. My emotional baseline, everything was just slowly getting worse and worse, and my sleep was getting worse and worse, until eventually I could hardly sleep, because there was so much vibration and messed up energy all going all crazy. And then eventually something just went pop. It was like a fuse blew in my nervous system, and my head started ringing, both my quite loud humming, ringing, buzzing, like chirping, quite bad kind of tinnitus symptoms. But tinnitus, it's a symptom of a condition. Okay, so forget about the tinnitus. What was the problem was that my had become disordered. So it's since that happened about a year ago, it's taken a long time for this to come right. I've been to a lot of different practitioners, including obviously first going to see just standard medical doctors, specialists, GP, everything, audiologist, to try but they couldn't help me at all. All they could do was give me some drugs and things to try and calm me down, try and help me sleep, but really it didn't really do much. Wasn't really much use. But anyway, long story short, finally I found a practitioner. I went through a lot of like spiritual healers, energy healers, acupuncturists, the lot, and even those people, when you have a very serious chronic condition like I had, you end up going through a lot of them, until you get to one that can actually help you, But so that's what happened. And then the one that could finally help me, put me in contact. Obviously, he couldn't help with everything, but he could help with a lot. But he put me in contact with other people that could help with other parts of my other parts, other things, you know. So um, so yeah, what I'm basically saying and getting into is about sustainability of a practice, and that just means, what I'm trying to say is just, you know, you need to have a very stable foundation. So, you know, diet. You can't be iffy about your diet. Oh, should I be a vegetarian? Should I eat meat? No, you can't. You should be having, you know, like 3 square meals a day, and or whatever suits your body type. You know, like intermittent fasting is not good for everyone. Some people, like myself, we need like three good square meals a day, and you know, need to wait a good 2 or 3 hours, have a good 2 or 3 hours before bedtime to digest, and you know, and things like this. So for the lifestyle, there's like four main pillars, right? Like diet, sleep, um, exercise, and mindset, state of mind, or your emotion is basically it. Which you know, your mind, it's influenced largely by, you know, what you're doing socially, and what you're, you know, having family interaction, friends interaction, and activities and stuff, so that your mind, you know, you're mentally stable. And so yeah, there's basically four, you know, mind, exercise, uh, diet, and sleep. You know, those are the four pillars. You know, if one of those is out of balance, then, you know, you're not really, probably not a good idea to do any kind of intensive energy work like I did. So that was another reason how I messed myself up. But yeah, so going forward, you know, I don't want to do any more drugs, like weed or psychedelics or whatever. It's very bad to combine that with any kind of practice. So those are all ruled out for me now. Um, yeah, unless it's for a very specific purpose, like if I would go and see a shaman in somewhere, and it would be like a one-off that I would need to take some ayahuasca or whatever to learn something, to gain some new experience or knowledge. You know, if you gain experience and knowledge from it, then that's different. But if it messes you up, if the side effects are too big of a trade-off, then it's not worth it. You know. Yeah. So that's basically my little update. Yeah. I think that's all.